Harihi Om Tatsat. Harihi Om Tatsat. Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru. Madhya Hridaya Kashe Sadanandamayo Guruhu Udedu Satatam Samyak Swatmananda Prabodhaga. Harihi, Harihi, Harihi Om Tatsat. Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru. All of us together will recite Omkara 3 times, the auspicious monosyllable. While reciting it, keep in mind a very specific thought that our joint recitation should spread upon the whole of the earth, showering its benedictions on all creatures living on our planet. This is very important. Here we start. Only I have my voice subdued. All of you have good voice. So put full use of it. Hari, Hari, Hari Om Tatsat. Aravindan? Then the tuning on the Shari. Tuning on the increase. Dear and blessed seekers of truth, and also children of immortality. All of you know why we have assembled here today. Nevertheless, the occasion is so sublime, important, and creative in our life that the purpose always requires to be repeatedly reminded to the audience. Because good things are seldom remembered well. It requires repeated introspection. So I shall talk something about what is Gurupoornima, who is a Guru, what does Guru Bhakti mean, and what does Guru Sangha also signify. I always say, in the Indian almanac, this is the most important, sublime and significant day. All the other days are secondary to this great day. That goes to prove how much of importance we give to the teacher, to the Guru, particularly the spiritual master, from whom alone a seeker can derive his fulfillment. Our Guru Parampara is something very unique. And for those people who can examine whatever is taking place at Narayanashrama Tapovanam, has been taking place for so many years. I happened to come here in 1963. So you can imagine how many years have passed. And over the years, many things have taken place here. I am a super traditional person. At the same time, I am also very modern and societal, national and global in my thinking. So you will find a blending of the societal thoughts and concerns as well as the spiritual thoughts, ideals and values. This combination is not characteristic of an ascetic life, but an ascetic life is capable of lending itself to this great blending. When in the 1980-85s, I had to spearhead some of the societal movements, particularly concerning the Hindu society here, I found that all the people who were devoted to me spiritually, none of them took interest in it. Everybody kept away. And the only point is that Swamiji should not go in for all these things. Every time police will be behind me and our group. The intelligence department also, all the more so. The intelligence officers used to come here and discuss whatever they wanted to about our movement, etc. But I was very particular that our movement will have to be very, very peaceful and lawful. This fact was recognized by the police first and our government next, and all of them recognized. There was an interesting instance where the police officers asked me to go and their police camp. Whenever our movement was going forward, we generally informed the government about what we proposed to do in a written manner. I had written a letter to the governor of Kerala before I entered into this movement, explaining we are people who represent the tenet Satyameva Jayate, and we are an ascetic group of people. The country is perhaps most safe in our hands, in our thoughts and concerns. None of you should have. One day my telephone was tapped. I said, there is no necessity to tap my telephone. The intelligence department can come to us and they can always ask us. We never have anything secretive in our movement. When necessary, I had gone to the superintendent of police and asked him some of the important points of law. I happened to meet the Director General of Police when the police refused microphone for us. I said, I have come here to know, I have to address the public. To address the public is the freedom guaranteed by the Constitution. So the police department should facilitate, if there is any objection from the public, enabling us to talk to them freely. On the other hand, if you are going to deny the use of mic, I have nothing to say. I want you to write to me saying why you are refusing, that's all. And after a few minutes of conversation, we became very friendly. This is what happens everywhere. I spent about 45 minutes with the Director General. He did not say anything or commit anything. I went away. Next day, the mic was available for me to address the public. There were nearly 1,000 people present before me. Now, this kind of a dimension, whether ascetic life accommodates it, permits it, is there any conflict or contradiction? This is something that all of you should think about. Sannyasins will do anything and everything. When the great Rama had to abandon his great Sita when she was pregnant, poor Rama could not find any other place than sage Valmiki's hermitage to leave her nearby. So he told Krishna, no, Lakshmana, take your sister-in-law under the pretext that she wanted to serve some sages for a period of time so that the child born will be good and noble. Under that pretext you take her, and when you reach near the ashram of sage Valmiki, tell her that I have abandoned her and you come away. You don't understand this at all. You don't think. What was the necessity for Rama to take this kind of a step, leaving her by the side of sage Valmiki? Because the ascetic and sagely people alone will be able to give the necessary protection to a woman, a wife abandoned by the king. No subject will be able to take charge of the abandoned wife. How will they? Because their king has abandoned her. So how can the subjects take charge of her? Only the sages can do it. So depending upon the time and persuasion, our sages are capable of handling any situation, maybe in a very novel manner. This is the way Kanva Maharshi picked up a girl, Shakuntala, and brought her up. Normally we are not supposed to do this. But when an occasion comes, we also have a heart which is overflowing with sympathy, concern for the society, welfare for the people, and whatever is necessary, we have the intrinsic right, readiness, resolve, enlightenment, clarity, and persuasion to do. When I took up sannyasa in the hands of my Gurudev, I gave him the Geruva clothes and said, please give it to me. So he gave it to me. And you know what he said? Be prepared for a sword and a garland. This is what he told me. Be prepared for a sword and a garland. And literally this happened in my life. So many garlands were offered to me, but only one time the sword was behind my neck. Now, why I am mentioning this? I know in my life, so far as my spiritual pursuit is concerned, only my Gurudev. I grew up with our tradition, devotion, all traditional practices, etc. I am super traditional if you observe me very closely. In spite of it, my mind was restless. I could not find peace. I was worshipping God, but God doesn't have a body or a mouth to speak. He is all-pervading, present everywhere, omnipresent. Because of His omnipresence, He has no hands, no feet, no head, no mouth, no tongue, nothing. So how can such an omnipresent God speak to you? So there is a gap, there is a crisis. This crisis apparently was resolved when I happened to meet my Gurudev, who was brought by my elder brother to our flat in Calcutta. I have always said how my Gurudev responded when I prostrated before him for the first time. He lifted my head, supporting the cheeks, and gave me a kiss on my forehead. That one act of his made me think and rethink a great deal. What is this relationship? I don't know him. He also doesn't know me. Suddenly, how come that this kind of an expression of fondness, closeness, and even reliance is felt? So, is human relationship far more than what we know? I did not remember any time when, though I was the last born in my family, anybody doing any act of affection like this in my life. But how is it that a stranger expresses this? There was a Bengali old lady in Calcutta. My brother took me to her. The moment she saw me, she immediately wrapped me up on her lap and she started shivering. This was another experience. So, in Calcutta I found an altogether new dimension of religiosity, spirituality, and spiritual relationships. For me, after meeting the Guru, I had no other thought at all. God became a closed chapter for me, and my Guru became everything. So many people are coming to me seeking Diksha. I explained to them, this Diksha is the last thing in human life. You should hold on to it. And whatever sadhana I tell you, you must do it with steadfastness. Apparently, nobody does it. One of the persons who has come here, I asked that person, how are you doing your sadhana? I am doing it. But my mind is running here and there, so many thoughts. But that person did not write to me or ask me, Swamiji, I am doing sadhana and I feel my mind is running full of thoughts. What shall I do? Not a letter, not a telephone call. What is this? Is this a Guru-Shishya relationship? Not the one I know. I had told my Gurudev everything about my life. Everything, without any reservation. When we talk, what is it that we talk? Politics? General matters? Or we have only spiritual matters to talk about? What do you want from spirituality? The mind? You want the mind to be blocked? Then how will you live in this world? Do you want to have a switch which will stop the mind from thinking and start when you want? If such a switch is given by nature to everyone, do you know the colossal situation that will result? So spirituality means something for you to know. It is primarily and solely a mental-intellectual pursuit. Mental-intellectual pursuit. When you chant a mantra, that chanting is far more powerful than a nuclear force. When I say this, do you have a sufficiently grown intelligence to understand it? What is nuclear energy? It is derived from the finest particle of matter in terms of fusion and fission, etc. But still it is matter, mind you. And what about the mind? Mind is not matter. It is far above matter and energy. When you exercise your mind, what is that force which is generated by it? It is beyond imagination. Though you all use the word M-I-N-D, mind, none of you knows it. It cannot be seen by the senses. It is within your body. Then how can you understand it? You can understand it only with the help of the mind and the intelligence. Intelligence is the only tool of knowledge in the human. We have 4 levels of activity. One is physical and sensory. The second is oral, articulational. These are the visible, external, gross ones. The next are mental and intellectual. Compared to the physical activity, the mental activities are great in their effect. If physical activity has got 1 value and oral has got 10, mental has got 100 and intellectual activity has got 1000 effects. So when you chant a mantra means what? It is a mental exertion, a mental activation, a mental employment, a harnessing of the mind. Do you know what is the effect it will produce? This Uragam is a village not far away from here. There was an ambition there. I was told he was bitten by a very poisonous cobra. If that cobra bites him, you can walk only 8 feet. Before that you will fall dead. But this person, when he was bitten by the cobra, he said, I will not go to a snake charmer. I will simply chant the mantra which I have and ask people to pour water on his head. He was saved. He had no trouble at all. So what do you think of the mantra? The mantra is meant to tackle this problem of the mind. What is the problem? The mind goes on thinking, it doesn't rest. So we want to deal with the mind and make it obedient to us. We must be able to harness it. And the meditation is meant for that. Saying that the mind is ceaselessly thinking, can you become indifferent to meditation? What is sadhana then? So I ask you to sit and do sadhana so that you will be opened to your own inner horizon. You will know what is the mind, what is the thought. We all say the soul is different from the body. It is only a tentative statement. Soul is different from the body. Actually, when you understand the soul, everything is the soul. It is all-pervading, singular, does not allow a second item at all. Therefore, can there be anything besides the soul? No. So if the body is there, that is soul. If the mind is there, that is soul. If thoughts are there, they are the soul. This is the ultimate realization you are going to have. But why don't you discuss these matters with me? I meditated, but the mind is running, therefore I stopped. Or I carry on like a goose. Is this sadhana? What is this guru for? He is not a dummy. He is conscious. You can approach him, talk to him, discuss matters well. So ultimately, what is the position? You must be able to read Shastras and understand the subject well. Nayam atma pravachanena libhyaha na methaya na bahuna shrudena yamevaisha vrnute tena libhyaha tasyesha atma vivrute tanu swam. This is a sloka I happened to read when I started reading Upanishads. And this sloka gave me, as I always say, on a new moon day, if 1,000 full moons arise in the sky, what will you feel? The same I felt when I read this sloka. Nayamatma pravachanena libhya. This Atma cannot be attained by tall talk, by expositions made by you. Naja pramadat tapaso va pyalingat. By improper austerities also you cannot get hold of the Atma. Yame vaisha vrnude tena lebhya. This has got two meanings. As in a Swayamvara of a princess, so many people are called. This princess will go with a marital garland. She will go to one after the other. Listen to whatever the Sakhi says about the greatness of the suitor, seeker. If she likes, she puts the garland on him. Otherwise, she bypasses. So in a full assembly, after seeing all of them, she decides to marry one. In the same manner, you look at the colorful world of objects. Think about them as much as you want. And ultimately you come to the conclusion, this is all like a tree, in the trunk of which already fire is burning. All are transitory. I don't want any one of them. I want something different from the visible. I want something inner, which is closer to me, which I can experience. So you should opt for and choose the soul. If you can have this kind of a wedding with the soul, then only the soul will reveal its nature in fullness. Shankara says very beautifully, Chideva dehastu chideva lokaha, chideva bhutani chidindriyani, karta chidandakaranam chideva, chideva sarvam paramartha rupam. All these things are what I read before leaving Calcutta with sannyasa as my resolve. Chideva dehastu. The deha itself is consciousness. When I look at you, am I seeing the dead body or living body? So the living body gives me the idea of livingness, consciousness. Without the body, how can you realize the self? The self is animating this body. The body is visible. And you understand the visible body is animated by the self. If the visible body were not there, you will not be able to sense the animation. When the electric bulb is put on, you know The current is flowing through the conductor. Otherwise, will you know? So, this body is chit, chideva dehastu, chideva lokaha. The worlds also are consciousness. Chideva bhutani chidindriyani. All the beings are chit. Senses also are chit, consciousness. Chideva sarvam paramartha rupam. All are chit. So what is your mind? The mind is consciousness. Thought also is equally conscious. So what is the harm in the mind thinking? You want an unthinking mind? You want to live as a vegetable? So how erroneous is the notion? I started doing meditation and I found my mind is thinking. Should you not report the matter to your teacher and ask for clarity? I am doing this, what can be done? Then will you do the meditation properly? That also you are not doing. I meditated for 10 minutes, 25 minutes, 15 minutes. What is this? 15, 16 hours you are wakeful. Can you not meditate for 2 or 3 hours a day? During my professional life, when I got initiated by my Gurudev, every day I was spending 1.25 hours during the day and 1.25 hours during the night in meditation. And during holidays, I would spend 4 hours. Why did you take Diksha? Simply to say, I have become a Dikshita. Is it not to do sadhana? And whatever you encounter, whom will you report to? You have to report it to the Guru and seek clarification. You don't know what is the goal and how it will be. It is not something known to you. So how can you sit in judgment over any experience that you have? So meditation has got a purpose. It is to make you understand your mind, its intricacies, and ultimately making it as a ground. Your intelligence started thinking, introspecting, and newer exposures rise before the intelligence. Your knowledge of spirituality goes on increasing until at last you will have a clarity. I know some people have taken Diksha from me. So when I used to go to Delhi, I used to say, we used to do some group meditation. On that day they will come. So I say, are you living? I don't know whether you are living. What does it mean? I don't know. They never keep any communication with me. Is this the purpose you have a Sadguru? I don't understand. When you have a child or a son-in-law in your house, what do? You don't think about the child? You don't have contact with the child? So when you have made a relationship with a Guru, saying that, whenever I give Diksha, I tell them, whatever I talk, remember it for the whole life. What is that? This Diksha is the last thing in human life, in spirituality. Last thing. Once you have taken the Diksha, you should simply outlive all other devotional and religious associations. Completely outlive. If your religious interests and religious practices will be able to resolve your point, why did you come and take Diksha? Diksha has got a place and purpose. And that purpose, if it is to become true, after taking Diksha, in the religious and spiritual and yogic context, you should not have any other practice at all. See, that fidelity, that loyalty, that chastity people don't have. So on this occasion, what I have to tell you is, Guru Bhakti and Guru Sangha are very, very valuable. After getting Diksha, I never thought of any other source at all. Whatever I wanted to say, ask for, I was presenting everything to my Gurudev. He also told me whatever he wanted to share, I also shared with him. So that closeness of relationship is what has clinched my spiritual life of seeking. This I wanted to share with you. I am sometimes wondering, we initiated about 6 people in the Dakshinaganda, a very poor village, not very advanced. After the procedural Diksha, I finally say, close your eyes, interlock your fingers and simply sit. Chanting whatever I have asked you to chant. Everybody sat for about half an hour or 30, 40, 35 or 40 minutes. And at the end of it, when they opened, I asked them to open the eyes. I asked them, how was it? They said, Paramanand. All the 6 people said Paramanand. I started laughing. You know why I was laughing? What have I asked them to do? Simply sit. Let the body be still and don't do anything. This is the supreme truth of life. You are day in and day out active, multiply active, multitask performing and all that. And do you have the peace, the freedom and the fulfillment that you look for? Certainly not. Now here are 6 instances where I ask them to keep quiet and close their eyes, and they say, blissful. Tell me where from this bliss came. Why are you keeping quiet? Where from did it come? Huh? Now this is the entire spirituality is for. Such a great sadhana when we give, you are not valuing it. So what are you worth? Do you have any worth as a human? I am very strong in my words. Why did you seek Diksha? Why are you seeking spirituality? Why have you come to the ashram? Why are you listening to our talks? Is it not to be enlightened? It will pave the way for a Guru-Shishya relationship, and in that relationship, everything about the world will be resolved. You are seeing a colorful world, but my dear souls, the world has no color at all. At all. All the colors are generated by your eyes. EYES. None of the object in this world will be able to reveal a sound. The sound is revealed by the ear. There will be no smell anywhere in the world. It is generated by your nose. Taste is delivered by the tongue, and touch is generated by the skin. You are having the colors, you are having the sounds, taste, etc. That is why while you meditate, many people will have different sensations. It may be color, it may be touch, it may be sound, it may be smell, it may be taste. Then you understand that it is not objects that generate sensations, it is our senses. And who made the body? In the mother's womb, the fetus made the body. Nobody else made it. And that body was empowered with 5 senses. And these senses make the entire jugglery. So when you are given a proper Diksha and you are connected to the Supreme in your heart, should you not respond to the relationship properly? What a great gift it is. So this is what I have to tell you. There is no time, they say, so I don't speak further. In a way, I have disappointment. Disappointment about most of the initiated disciples, where They don't care for anything. I have received another letter from a brigadier. I think all of you should read what he has written. That is the other extreme. But mostly it is this. I meditated. I had some thoughts. What else do you want? You want a dying mind? A skeleton mind or a granite mind? We want to live with freedom, with peace, with stability. And our eyes should see, ears should hear, nose should smell, tongue should taste, skin should touch, mind should think, intelligence to understand, ego to assert. When all these are going on, you should still be stable, poised, harmonious, and feel the fullness and abundance within you from the soul. This is called real wisdom. This ashram is a knowledge institution. We are always delivering knowledge through our talks, through our writings. So, this knowledge is to be approached by your mind and intelligence. No flower is thrown, no light is lit, no offering is made. If at all you have to offer mental, intellectual products to their own master, the soul here. As Bhagavad Gita says, Ishvara sarvabhutanam hridesha arjuna tishtati brahmayan sarvabhutani yandrarudhani mayaya tameva sharanam gacha sarvabhavena bharata. Seek refuge under the indwelling presence by all your bhavas, by all your feelings, emotions, attitudes, values, goals, disciplines. Can you offer all the inner products to the indwelling presence? Then that is real devotion. These are the ways in which we would like to expose. Now learn, try to understand the message that I wanted to convey. This Guru and Guru Bhakti are everything for the seekers. That is why this day has become so paramount. Everything in India was very glorious. Milk and honey were flowing at a time. But we find a poor India. So all your economic prosperity is subject to, it will mix with the dust. But this knowledge has remained here for countless millennia. So what is great and where we have to tap it? Think about it well. Okay. I embrace all of you mentally and bless you. There must be good children born in your families, not one generation, several generations. They should love the family, love the society. They should study well, become competent, contribute to the nations and global productivity. And everything should become prosperous, peaceful and knowledgeful. Okay. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Govindanama Sankirtanam Govinda Govinda Namah Parvati Padaye Hara Hara Mahadeva.